Okay, so we have the function f of x equals -3 times the square root of x plus 4 minus 2. The square root of x is our parent function. We're going to describe the transformation. So do you remember where we start in describing the transformation? Horizontal, right? We start with the horizontal, what's under the radical first. What direction does it go if it's plus 4? Right, horizontal translation, left 4. Then we talk about what's multiplied in front. What does that 3 do in front? Stretches it. That's a vertical stretch factor of 3. The negative, yes, it's going to be a reflection. The negative makes it a reflection. In what axis? In the x-axis. So that's the x plus 4 part. F of, wait, I did that wrong. F of x plus 4. The 3 times the f of x was a vertical stretch. If it was 1/3, then it would be a shrink. Reflection is the negative f of x. And the last thing we talk about is the vertical translation. Which direction is that vertical translation? Down 2. That is f of x minus 2. Okay. Now the horizontal shrinks and stretches were the harder ones. They were opposite, right? If we saw 3x inside the radical, this was a horizontal shrink of 1/3. If we saw 1/3 x in the radical, it's a horizontal stretch of 3. The horizontal was always opposite, right? The plus goes left and the minus goes right. The 3 is the shrink and the 1/3 is the stretch. Okay. So that's just a little refresher. And this isn't really on tonight's homework, it's on tomorrow's. But I want to make sure we go over it and we have a little video to reference. We're going to write a transformed function g on the graph of f of x equals the same one, -3 square root of x plus 4 minus 2. Now we're going to take this transformed function and we're going to transform this more. We're going to do a reflection on the x-axis followed by a horizontal translation right 2. First thing we're going to do, how do I write the function notation for a reflection in the x-axis? Negative f of x. Reflection in the y-axis is f of negative x. Right? Anything horizontal is inside the function. Everything vertical is outside the function. So I'm going to multiply negative times the whole function. And the biggest mistake is we're not distributing this correctly. So negative times -3 is 3, square root of x plus 4, and negative times -2 plus 2. Right, we have to change them both because we're reflecting it. The graph is here at 4, -2. Looks like this. We'll talk about graphing those later on this chapter. If I'm reflecting it on the x-axis, it's going to go up to +2, right? And then it's going to go this way, so it has to change to +2. I never distribute into the square root, the absolute value, the parentheses squared, or into the function. Okay. And then the second step, is a horizontal translation right 2. That's f of what? No. X minus 2. Yeah, 2x and 1/2 x would be horizontal shrinks and stretches. Right and left, all translations are adding and subtracting. Shrinks and stretches are multiplication. All right, so that's 3 square root of x minus 2 plus 4 plus 2. So that's 3 square root of x plus 2 plus 2. And that would move the graph over to here. Okay, so we have the next function, f of x equals the square root of 2x plus 1 minus 3. We're going to do a horizontal translation left 4 and a vertical shrink factor of 1/3. I'll give you a second to write it down. So, how do we write a horizontal translation left 4? F of x plus 4. So that's the first thing we'll do. The second thing we'll do is the vertical shrink factor of 1/3. How do we write that? 1/3 f of x. Okay. Negatives just reflect, right? So I'm plugging in x plus 4 into the equation. 2 times x plus 4 plus 1 minus 3. Then I distribute. So I get the square root of 2x plus 8 plus 1, which is the square root of 2x plus 9 minus 3. I want you to pay attention to the fact that I didn't just add 4 to the 1. Because there is a horizontal shrink factor, I have to multiply that translation by the 2. So in order to actually make it go over a whole 4 units, it changes to plus 9. And then 1/3 times f of x means I multiply everything by 1/3, 2x plus 9 minus 3. Now, we were notorious for not distributing this. You either distributed to the number on the outside and didn't put it in front, or you put it in front but didn't distribute to the number on the end. It has to go to both. It's 1/3 times the square root, so that's just 1/3 square root of 2x plus 9, and 1/3 times negative 3 minus 1. And that's our final answer. Okay, now I'm going to give you a couple minutes to do numbers 19 and 20 on the warm-up side of the paper I passed out. And that's these problems. Yes. Okay. It's a Wednesday, so I have less time, right? Reflection of the x-axis is negative f of x, right? And a vertical translation down 9 is f of x minus 9. So we're going to multiply the whole thing by a negative. 5 times the 7th root of 2x minus 6 plus 4. And that becomes negative 5, 7th root, 2x minus 6 minus 4. You have to distribute it to the vertical translation on the end, okay? Because it goes from positive 4 to negative 4 when you flip it over the x-axis. Then add minus 9. So negative 5, 7th root, 2x minus 6 minus 13.
Yes, I did it.
Whether it's 7th root, 5th root, 6th root, the transformations are all the same. Okay. What about a horizontal translation? Left 8. F of x plus, plus 8. Just had a moment. Plus 8. So this one is also one that usually got wrong. That becomes x plus 8 instead of the x, minus 6 plus the 4. So we get 5, 7th root of 2x plus 16 minus 6, 5, 7th root of 2x plus 10 plus 4. 4 is not added to the 10. 4 is outside. The 10 is under the radical. Okay. Okay, so this is what tomorrow's homework is going to be on.